live episode. I don't remember, but we're back, and this is the last episode before the release of Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite, which is pretty awesome too.
Oh my god.
Right now, we're missing a few members of the cast, so a few of us are here to hold down the fort. Of course, Jonas in Puerto Rico right now, taking care of all of the things he needs to take care of. If anybody hasn't heard, there's a huge hurricane on the way to exactly where he's at right now. So, best wishes to Jonas, and he's handling his thing, so we're going to hold down the fort this time. And KP also handling personal matters, so our love and prayers to him. And we're going to knock it out tonight because we have a lot to talk about. We had so many recent events between now and last show, which we had an off week, so we had about 3 weeks. And there were 4 tournaments, Marvel 3 related, that we can go over, and actually the very first MVCI tournament also. So a lot to talk about there. We've got a few things to talk about for upcoming events, and then going over our Curleh finale, top 24 point qualifiers that you're going to see in just 2 weeks at the Curleh finale. But aside from all that, let's say what's up to the cast. What's up, Marcus? Potato salad. Woo!
What's going on, everybody? I'm doing pretty good.
And Kyle Merkel. What's up, man?
Hey, what's up, everyone? Always good to be here. And we actually get to talk about an Infinite tournament for the first time ever. That's going to be awesome.
I know. Exciting. And Steve, what's up, Music Man?
Wait, why do I gotta be music? Okay, never mind. Like, I can't think about anything when we were like on the eve of Infinite, pretty much. Like, holy crap! When you just like started off the show and said that this is the last show before Infinite, it's like, oh my god, everything's about to change. Everything.
It is. Reality is hitting, and man, who would have thought, even maybe like a year and a half ago, that we'd be in this situation right now? Right? We went from asking when's Marvel because we never got to see Marvel to actually realizing another Marvel's on its way in less than 2 weeks. So that's exciting and a lot to talk about. But before we get to MVCI stuff, let's go over some of the recent.
Oh, what a typical New York! It's exactly 2 weeks for the rest of the world.
Oh
like
yeah,
all this
that's
New
true.
York gonna
It's
get these
Tuesday.
early release copies.
I'm gonna try
and
to get the
stuff.
early copies too. Hey, pro tip for all you people out there watching this: go find your nearest mom and pop shop, call them, and figure out if they're gonna get Infinite early because they will definitely break street date.
JK, Marvel Live does not condone any early access and
Dude.
illegal acquisition of copies of Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite. And back to Marvel 3 legal
This
related
just in,
things.
I just got
Steve.
fired.
Yeah, we had 4 tournaments, 4 Marvel 3 tournaments that we're going to go over first, starting with Shine, which was in Boston, Massachusetts. And, you know, a lot of people in kind of, I don't know, the northeast region, Ram Bam has been holding down. He's been doing a lot of different community-related things, so he actually did really well in this tournament, but I have the brackets up now for you guys to check out. In the top 8, we had, hold on.
Number one.
Yeah,
Reed
go
Man.
for it, Kyle.
Well, I don't have it up. I just know that
yeah,
Fizzy
number
Cups
one.
won.
Number
Reed
1,
Man.
Reed Man.
AKA.
Number 2, yeah, Fizzy Cups. Number 2, Ram Bam. So shout outs to him. Number 3, Noel Brown. 4th place we had Unknown. Tied for 5th was Evie, EVY, and Evasion. Is that Hitbox Evasion?
Yeah, it's Hitbox Evasion.
Okay, and then tied for 7th, you had Black Dan and Cravate. I don't know how to say his name.
Cravate.
Yeah, I was going to say, go fancy. Add the accent.
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't see that accent mark. My bad.
No, there is no one.
But yeah, so Shine was a stop on the Curleh circuit, which is huge for a lot of these people in this bracket, and you'll find out later when you get to see some of the qualifiers. And we have a little bit of footage playing from the tournament here. This was actually streamed by Boston Anime FGC, so if you want to check out their VODs, it is on their Twitch channel. And they have the entire, UMVC3 top 8 up there, so be sure to check out. There were 23 entrants, so healthy amount of players, some solid points. Let's see, let's look at some interesting matches here in the bracket. Ram Bam over Unknown. That zero life. I know there's a lot of zero players, man, really getting their rocks off towards the end here. So it's gonna be
I'm pretty sure even after Infinite drops, it's still going to be a lot of zeros doing their thing.
Yeah, for
So I don't think
sure.
I don't think we're free of the
Not
the
yet.
zero curse.
Yeah, definitely not yet. At least not until, Marvel Infinite evolves a little bit, right? It's just Zero's so familiar right now.
Yeah, I think we're definitely going to see. I think him and Dante, they're going to be around as much as they are now, at least while people are getting
Strider
used to
too, man. Strider.
Yep, I agree. Especially the way $1 Million is kind of the easy ticket right now for tag mix-ups. I think that's definitely going to be the two popular choices. Another interesting match. Oh, okay, wait. So it looks like Reedman, Fizzy Cups, reset the bracket here. Oh wait.
Yeah, he was in losers, got sent by
Yeah. Ram was on winner's side, and then Reedman ended up. I think he lost 3-0 to Noel in winners semis, and then got all the way to him in losers finals and beat him 3-2, and then reset against Ramban and then ended up winning the tournament.
Yeah, I talked to Ramban personally about the grand finals, and he said it was pretty free. I feel bad because this was definitely one of Ramban's best showings. He's shown consistent improvement. I think last time he went to defend the North, he won it too. But I think Reedman had a lot to prove because I think if he had not won here, he wouldn't have qualified for the finale, and this was something he really wanted to do. So he flew all the way across country, on a prayer pretty much, and there was some pretty decent competition here. Noel Brown could have easily taken it. Unknowns, never someone to be slept on. And, Fizzy, shout outs to Fizzy. I'm going to be really hyped to see him at the finale because win or lose, that boy always puts on a show. Always.
For sure.
He's so fun to watch.
Yeah.
I'm really glad that he actually was able to win this tournament because, he really kind of popped up last minute at Evo, right? That's really the first time we saw him in this past year, right?
Yeah, for a while. I felt like I hadn't seen him in a long time. And the funny thing was, too, since that gap happened, he showed up as Reedman instead of Fizzy Cups. And for a little bit, I was like, who is this? Who's this person? And then I saw him, and I was like, oh, it's Fizzy Cups. Okay, no.
Yeah, definitely unofficial. But I think that he was taking a break for a little while, and then I don't know if he just got the bug again and decided Curleh Circuit's going to be where he goes, but I'm fairly certain he's planning to go pretty active going into Infinite too. So we have not seen the last of Fizzy Cups. For everyone in the chat, Fizzy Cups, Reedman, same person.
Yeah,
he just decided he was Fizzy Cups for years and years, and then just decided the last year or two to switch over to Reedman. So if you see that and you want to see some of his old stuff, go check that out. And shout outs to Ram Bam, just popped up in the chat.
Yeah, what's up, Ram? And, any last final words for Shine? We have a lot of tournaments to cover, and I'm about to move on to Absolute Battle 8. So
shout outs to Ram Bam for dropping X23 and deciding he wanted to win.
Right? If I would have known it was that easy, I've known it was that easy. I'm just stupid.
Hey, character, loyalty, it's a hell of a drug, isn't it? You just
it'll get you nowhere.
But now, I'm off of it. I'm clean. I quit that thing cold turkey. MVCI is gonna be a new ball game. All right, Absolute Battle 8 was also an amazing tournament. It was pretty stacked, 52 entrants, and the top 3, some familiar faces we've been seeing on Terra recently. Let's get that bracket up for you guys. And yeah, the top 3, we had NY Chris G, PC Marvel God, and Ryan LV. Really interesting thing for me is the order of this top 3 right now.
Yeah, exactly.
So we have Chris G taking first, obviously second place at Evo. Marvel Guy taking second, which was third place at Evo. And then Ryan LV taking third, which was first place at Evo. So I know when you said you got a chance to watch the grand finals or
yeah, I got to watch a decent bit of Absolute Battle, and it was really hype, especially since PC Marvel God, he puts a crazy show on at Evo, and he continued to do it here at Absolute Battle, playing a bunch of different teams. It wasn't just, even though Magdoom Phoenix definitely did a lot of the work, I think in grand finals he played Clockwork's team, and then MODOK Doom Sentinel in grand finals against Morrigan. He even got like a game off. But probably some like the more noteworthy things that like happened, in my opinion, were Joey D running train in losers. The constant run back of like the South or like just like the Midwest or whatever. Like I always see Ryan or Joey D and Terry Bogard play every time, and they always go back and forth. But Joey D managed to clutch it out against Terry this time, only to fall to PC Marvel God in a really, really close set, 3-2. A lot of crazy decisions. I don't think Dark Phoenix barely ever got played because PC Marvel God just kept using Phoenix Rage Super in really clutch situations. But yeah, and probably to everybody's surprise here too, PC Marvel God beat Ryan LV. Ryan LV kind of, now I'm not going to say he's slacking. I think him winning Evo kind of lit a fire under a lot of people's butts. Like Chris G, PC Marvel God, who is Ryan LV's training partner. Like, I feel like both of them have been really stepping it up as of lately. And I wanted to talk a little bit about Chris G here because I had too much damage over here today and we were playing some Marvel and talking. And he brought up an interesting point saying that after Ryan LV put Chris G in, out of Evo, Chris G's actually been looking pretty good against Ryan. Now, do you guys think that that's either because Ryan's kind of let off the gas a little, or do you think Chris G's actually gotten better against it? Hard to tell.
I mean, they played twice since Evo, right?
Yeah, at Pasadena and at this tournament. And Chris G has won both times.
Do we remember what the exact scores were?
Man, you're asking a lot. I know that this
I feel like he beat him pretty convincingly at Pasadena.
Yeah, I think it was a surprising upset, in my opinion. But I don't know. I guess it's not an upset anymore. It's just what it is. I guess.
I think he definitely probably. Go ahead, my man.
Go ahead. All right. I have to believe that it's kind of like half and half. There is so much pressure going into Evo and to have that big W, but he also didn't travel much, and every time before Evo he's gone out. So I kind of have to believe that some of that is Chris being a little salty about how Evo went, not getting that repeat that he wanted. So I don't know. I'm not going to sleep on Ryan, but no, I feel like everyone. If you weren't, I don't know. It seems like Curleh is still a pretty big deal.
Yeah.
To a ton of people. So I find it hard to believe that he's trying to sleep too hard, but maybe, I don't know, maybe he'll wake up in the next week or two.
I'm excited to see the inevitable match between, okay, I mean, not to get ahead of myself, but if Chris G and Ryan LV do play a Curleh finale, it'll be very interesting based on the recent events. I guess that's like my main point here. But yeah, Absolute Battle was super fun. I mean, big shout outs to Chris G for clutching it out against PC Marvel God. And is PC Marvel God gonna be a Curleh finale? Not to spoil it, but
well, we'll talk about that in a little bit.
Okay, because I want to see. It seems like PC Marvel God, the only person he's able to like, or he has like a block against. No surprise, is Chris G. He's known to just kind of like put everybody put anybody out in a dominant fashion. So I'd want to see him have one last crack at it and see if he can figure out the perfect team, the right strategy to be able to beat Chris G like once and for all.
Right, because he does have a ton of different characters that, at his disposal that he can try and use. Even right now, a little bit of the recap showing next to the bracket here has PC Marvel God going with his MODOK team. So interesting stuff, MODOK Sentinel Doom. So he's definitely trying to, play the field, see what works out best. And that's, saying a lot more than a lot of people try to do against Chris G. But something else I wanted to point out in this... Oh, wait. What were you saying?
I was just going to say real quick, PC Marvel God Quackbot, right? Same...
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. So for anyone, once again, trying to keep up with everyone just changing their tags, if you want to see some of his older stuff, go look up Quackbot. He's been PC Marvel God for about the same time that Fizzy Cups has been Reedman. So, I don't know, something in the water.
And something else really cool I wanted to point out is that at Absolute Battle, Justin Wong actually tying for 5th with Terry Bogard. After not seeing Justin really play at all for a long time. Well, we saw him at Evo, right?
Yeah, but he hasn't really been trying to enter brackets.
Exactly. So entering Absolute Battle 8 is pretty interesting to me, and then him taking 5th on top of that. Pretty good. Pretty good. I mean, just outside of top 8, we had... Who did we have here? Frankie G, Ninja Nom. Who's Jason Kiddo? Anybody know? I actually don't know who that is.
That's Ramasama's younger brother, right?
Oh.
Isn't that crazy? Yeah, they play the same team. They play the same team.
This is literally, I think this is the first time I ever seen him in top 8 and not Ramasama. Like, normally they're both in top 8 when they, you know.
Oh, wow. That's awesome. Yeah, man. Start getting all your siblings into Marvel. It's the perfect time, you guys. Seize the moment. So yeah, next up, First Attack 2017. We were gonna wait for First Attack until a little bit later, hoping that Jonas would be able to get on, but it doesn't look like it's gonna be possible. So First Attack happened this past weekend, same weekend as ECT, and it went down over in Puerto Rico, beautiful Puerto Rico. And from what I've seen on social media from everybody who did attend, they all had a great time. And I mean, it's pretty hard not to have a great time in such a beautiful place. But yeah, the top 8 over here. Let's take a look at this bracket. There we go. Streams in progress. Wow, are you sure? Anywho, here's the bracket. They actually have the whole bracket on here, which is interesting. And we have some notes from Jonas. He at least left us with some good notes from First Attack. He was really excited to talk about the tournament, of course, because it is, you know, a big tournament in Puerto Rico. Every year it gets better and better. And I'm hoping next year I'll be able to go. I couldn't go to First Attack this year because of VCT. But I'm hoping next year we can make it happen. But yeah, this top 8, first place, Neokarsh. Second place, GB Siler. Third place, GB Fresh Prince. Fourth place, KJ Masta. Tied for 5th was Raid and Achilles. And then tied for 7th was Fernie, Seraph, and Kenneth. All right. So definitely a good handful of people I've never really heard of before. I'm not going to lie. But it makes me excited to see some of these people, you know, in Puerto Rico that we haven't seen before getting into the game now. So hopefully we can see more of them in Infinites. But yeah, I'm just going to read off some of the notes here from Raid. He says, this was an extremely important tournament because the top 8 was mostly self-contained within the PR Marvel community. Here are some notes. The GB boys started competing around a year after Neokarsh left PR. Neokarsh was undisputed the best PR player before he moved to Miami. Okay, so let's look at where he is in the bracket, right? Okay. Oh, so he did make it all the way. So he won. Neokarsh won. All right.
Definitely.
But Neokarsh is definitely, like, he's no stranger to North American Marvel. He's been quiet recently. When's the last big placement he had?
Not really big placements, but he like still takes people out. Like he took some people out at CEO.
Okay.
But I mean, he's definitely a friend of the Southeast for sure. He's really good friends with, of course, Raid, and anytime Marcus ends up at a tournament with him, he's always hanging out, playing games, and eating food. So, shout out to Neokarsh for getting the win down there.
And then continuing on with Jonas's notes, he says, Siler has been the best of the GB boys, but has failed to win an important tournament in his time competing, and he gets teased for it. He has a 2nd place curse. Okay, I mean, we know a lot of people who have those 2nd or 9th place curse, 5th, whatever, you know, so.
To be fair, I'll take a 2nd place curse over a 9th place curse, like, any day, free. So
that is true.
That's a pretty good curse to have.
That is true. And, oh man, it looks like Siler getting 2nd hasn't ended. He said for him or Fernie are the ones that usually win the most tournaments in PR. Okay. So it's usually between those 3 guys, Raid, Fernie, and Siler. He says, Raid and Fernie were in losers bracket, and whoever won faced Yomar, who got sent to losers by Siler, so it was their tournament to lose. Gotcha.
Yomar being Neokarsh for anyone in the chat.
Oh, okay. Neokarsh. This was also Raid's first time getting top 8 at First Attack. Woo woo. Good stuff, Raid.
He beat Smug in Street Fighter at that tournament too. That's crazy. big shout outs to Raid. He put in work.
Yeah, shout outs to Raid.
So it's the freaking global warming, trying to keep our boys off the one time he gets a good chance to rep his scene and shout out himself, and he can't make it. So definitely huge shout outs to Raid. I'm mad. I'm mad for you, dude. Like you're here in our hearts.
You're here in spirit, and you left us with notes, which is honestly like the first time that's ever happened. Let somebody leave some notes behind, right? That's great. What else did he say here? He said, Kenneth has been playing that team since day one.
That doesn't really help us.
Yeah,
we didn't get the team. Shout out for being loyal to your team, though, Kenneth. I appreciate that.
Indeed.
Did anybody watch this? Because I only went grand finals, and I need to talk about grand finals.
Oh, well, take it away. Talk all about it.
Holy crap! Okay, so Siler and Neo Karsh played in winter semis, and this was literally going on the same time as ECT Top 8, and I didn't realize that, so I ended up switching over too late to catch anything beforehand. But Siler had sent Neo Karsh to losers. He beat him convincingly 3-0, and Siler basically plays the Chris G, the Morgan Doom, Virgil team. And Neo Karsh ended up, like Raid said, Neo Karsh ended up knocking out Raid. He sunned him like he always does. And then he beat 2 other players and got back to grand finals, right? So it's basically Neo Karsh, the former best Puerto Rican player, versus Siler, who is like the second place finisher. And basically this was his chance, his opportunity. He didn't have anything in his way. He had to just beat like the Puerto Rican legacy. And this man, I've never seen somebody like, he just got run through basically. Like he was always poised to win. He was poised to win a couple of matches. Like the very first match, I think he had all 3 characters, and it was just Spencer. And X Factor Spencer ran it back on his entire team. And then I think like the next match, it was X Factor Taskmaster. And then Neo Karsh ended up resetting the bracket. And then like he looked so defeated after the reset, like he did not want to be on the stage anymore. It was like you could see on his face, he took a long time to run it back. He loses that 4th game, which is the first game in the reset, and he ends up like taking a long ass time again, and he goes to the character select screen and he switches to no, I take that back. He loses the next game, so he's lost 5 games in a row, and literally in that 5th game, like Neo Karsh hit him with the classic, like Spencer players know when you don't have when you don't kill and you have wall bounce, you do the wire grapple. And then, no, I'm sorry, when wall bounces out, you do the wire grapple, and then you do the falling M. That's a meaty for when they wake up. And, like, it's, like, the most basic thing that, like, you do. And everybody knows, it's coming. And he got hit by it. When he got hit by it, it was literally, like, I don't care. I didn't have to watch the rest of the set. Like, there was no way Neo Karsh was going to lose. He had literally broken that man's spirit. And, it was he broke his spirit. And, like, he ended up going, so he lost 5 games in a row, and he goes to character select, and he's just looking defeated, rubbing his face. He's kind of smiling, and like I think it was Ultra David was commentating. He was saying like, there's like nothing else he could do right now but smile. Like he's like smirking and just like shaking his head, and he ends up switching to Point Taskmaster, Doom Virgil, which apparently was his old team, but it was just kind of weird that like your answer to what's happening is to switch to Taskmaster, which is kind of like funny. I appreciate it, but it was just kind of like Morgan wasn't cutting it, and he waited to switch to Taskmaster. He ends up winning that game, so he ends up getting a game in, and then Neo Karsh just convincingly takes game 4, so he wins 3-0 in the reset, or 3-0 the first set, and then 3-1 after the reset. And like he literally like he broke that man's spirit, and it's like a really good, like I don't think it's like they weren't bad games. Like Seiler played well. He had a couple of like execution errors. Like one game, he had the game in his hand with I think it was Spencer versus Virgil, no X Factor each. He had got the hit on Spencer, but he couldn't kill, and so he knocked him down and tried to do swords, but he ended up getting the sword super, the dimension super or whatever, and he just got punished. And you could literally see like that was his one chance to make something happen, and it just didn't work out. But I would highly recommend everybody watch the set, because despite it being like watch his spirit leave his body. I need everybody to watch that, because it's like that's like one of my favorite things about fighting games. It's like you can literally tell when he gets hit with that falling in from Spencer that the set is over. It doesn't matter. The set is over. And there's like there's a sick Spencer comeback. There's a sick Taskmaster comeback. So they're like good matches. But you need to watch the set. You need to watch the set. And that's apparently Raid was saying too that Yomar saved Puerto Rican Marvel, because I guess nobody would have been able to live it down if Seiler ended up winning. I'm guessing that's what he's insinuating. So because I guess the teasing would have had to have stopped, but I guess he's still gonna get teased. So hooray or whatever. But shout outs to Neo Karsh, because that was a super entertaining set.
Awesome.
Okay, hang on. Let me be shocked that you know the ins and out of a Taskmaster Spencer Grand Finals match.
Hey, that Taskmaster mirror match too. And as soon as I posted about it, who comes out the woodwork with Aries saying link, 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 link? Because I want to see that Taskmaster mirror match too.
Of course. And then, also Jonas and I think all of us wanted to give the GB guys a huge shout out for just grinding and supporting Marvel 3, especially at this stage of the game. Anybody really putting in that work right now, like, I think it just says a lot about our community and like how much we love Marvel in general and how great Marvel Infinite is going to be. Like, it's going to be, I can't wait. It's going to be great. Now, to keep it rolling with the tournament
hang on.
recaps.
Just real quick before
Go.
Neo Karch saved us in the chat, said that Kenneth got top 8 with Virgil, Iron Fist, Ryu in that order. So that is the team he's been playing since day one, which is much more impressive than not knowing. So shout outs to somebody making top 8 with Iron Fist in the final days of Marvel. Like, that's pretty nuts.
That's pretty awesome. Oh yeah, so we're going to keep it rolling now with the tournament recaps. By the way, guys, I think you've been doing awesome so far. So the last Marvel 3 tournament for us to recap is East Coast Throwdown, which was also this past weekend. And it was pretty insane. A lot of pretty crazy things happened. Like a few things I never even seen before. I saw Flux land Saginmu snap against Virgil trading with swords, but then the shadow snap actually snapped him out. And I was like, what? I've never seen that before. Absolutely crazy. I always love it when that happens. I like seeing things I've never seen before in Marvel happen. But let's go over this top 8 real quick. East Coast Throwdown in New Jersey. One of the best East Coast tournaments in my opinion. Also ran by L.I. Joe, FGC favorite, alongside...
unbiased.
Come on, it's just true. Anywho, let's look at this top 8. First place. Oh yeah, don't forget, ECT was a Curleh finale qualifier. Sponsored by Smash GG, of course. And first place was Flux, which means Flux got the free auto invite and flight to the Curleh finale, and he won it over RF. So RF taking second place, showing up big all the way from Japan. Chris G taking third, No Life taking fourth, tied for fifth is Nemo and Noel Brown. Tied for seventh was Angelic and Crazy Joe. So 2 Japanese players in this top 8. Angelic coming all the way to the East Coast from Arizona, much like we saw Reedman do with Shine. And then, Flux and No Life, East Coast natives. Pretty interesting top 8, if you ask me. And what is showing from RF, especially after the exhibition that went down between him and Coach Steve the night before. I don't know if you guys caught any of that. It was 5-1, pretty convincing. But yeah, RF definitely showed up big the following day, getting second place. Any notes from you guys on ECT? I mean, I have more things to say, but I don't want to be the only one going ham right now.
This was a hype tournament. There's a lot to talk about.
Yeah. I watched everything except for grand finals, and like my one freaking Nemo versus Crazy Joe. Crazy Joe.
Crazy Joe, please.
Crazy Joe had no X Factor Sea Viper versus Nemo's entire team, and it was pretty much a wrap, is what everybody was thinking. And he literally almost ran it back. He had some super clean resets, but he was choking his combo. Like, he was dropping so much, but like it was just kind of like he was dropping, but he was playing it off, and like he was like getting immediately in there, and he knew he was gonna drop it and resetting, or like, but he was just like, oh my god, like he almost made it, like he almost won that set off of just that, like it was a super sick match. Like just watch that segment for the last from when Vipers Viper versus the entire team. It's super sick. And then I also just want to I feel bad because like I think I've said it like the last 3 shows, but No Life every time, man, every time he had.
I'm thinking he doesn't watch the show. Someone go let him know to watch the show. Like, we're telling him what he needs to do.
No, I'm not telling him what he needs to do. He needs to he gets there. He gets there. He's in the position to win. He's in the position to win. He lost a super close set against RF 3-2 and winner semis. And then he loses another close set against Chris Tree 3-2. And I don't remember which one of them because they play the same team. But he literally, I think it was against RF. The 5 games, I think he got the first hit 4 of the games. He literally got the first hit on Morgan 4 of the 5 games. And one of the games, he has the game. He kills Morgan, and then he gets an air throw, does what is it, the dive into X Factor, the OTG, but the dive, clearly it's missing. And I think he's still X Factors, even though it was whiffed and he was good. And then it was like, oh no, it's happening. Like you could literally see it happening before your eyes, where it's like, No Life is about to do it, and then he X Factor, and you're like, no. And it hurts, man, because he can almost every tournament, like I said, every tournament I've watched him in, I feel bad because he's so close. He's so close, you guys. He's so close. It hurts. It hurts. I don't even like Zero May Cry, and I'm rooting for you.
So the only time it's actually fun to watch Zero is when he's not clutch. Is that how it works out? The sad thing is that's probably true. Like if he was just steamrolling and getting a hit and then just incoming, like you just 2x that stuff and then just get to the next match. But I don't know. At least he keeps it interesting. So don't get better so that we can enjoy your play, but get better so that you can win. So somewhere in between there. That's the trick.
Yeah, what are your thoughts, Steve? I know you wanted to gush about it.
I need to gush about the Japanese players.
Go for it, dude. On the preview, on the match here, showing up, we had Crazy Joe and Nemo previewing right now in the bracket.
How does this man Nemo with no X Factor Spencer just run it back so many times?
Yo.
And it's and it's not even like the other player or the opponent messes up or is playing bad. He just waits for that moment, and he uses his movement to make himself so scary, but he doesn't commit immediately. I feel like we're watching a different Nemo. I don't know if it's because of Street Fighter that he's been getting super serious about that. Maybe he's a little rusty, so he's not trying to go all in like he normally would before. But just super back and forth, waiting for his turn, waiting for his moment to get the hit, and just runs it through. I think I saw at least 2 no X Factor solo Spencer comebacks throughout the tournament, but I'm pretty sure there were more throughout the bracket as he went through. So he was super hyped to watch. And to me, I was particularly impressed by RF. He got second. I'm not surprised that Flux beat him, But I'm also not surprised that RF beat Chris in that moment because I'll be honest, like it wasn't even Morgan that was the problem for Chris. Chris is Morgan, definitely the best in the business. But what really came through was Virgil missiles for RF. And he makes Morgan Doom Virgil look like a Virgil team, which is super weird. But I've never seen Chris G have to block so long.
Yeah.
Where like and Chris G should know like the ins and outs of the show, right? Because he's been playing Virgil missiles for God knows how long too. But it was the first time I've seen like Chris G just kind of like trapped. And it takes like a tremendous amount of like technical knowledge to know how to beat those push blocks properly, get the right block strings and the round trip glitch in there. Like no one does Virgil missiles better than RF. So I was super hyped to kind of like almost had like my notepad out on my phone, just like writing down. It's like, dang, okay, crouching medium into, you know, round trip point blank, beating all this and like the timings of the teleports. It was sick to me. While I mean, I personally hate dealing with it. It's like one of the most annoying things in the world, but I can appreciate when it's done really well. And speaking of doing really well, like I got to give it up to the boy Flux. He played super clean. He played super clean against RF. And I'll go back to like a memory that I had at Evo 2 years ago where RF was running money matches in my room against a lot of, you know, really good Marvel players. Myself, Flocker was there, a bunch of people, and no one could beat RF. Everybody was super annoyed about how evasive, how like optimized his keep away was, how optimized his block strings were with Virgil. And then Flocker steps up to the plate and is like, hold on, guys, this is really easy. And, you know, he loses the first game and then runs him through 5 straight because RF could not deal with the incomings from Zero. And that's exactly what happened in Grand. Like, not to say that's the only thing that happened, but if you're playing Morgan Doom Virgil, you need to be able to carry with Morgan to beat Zero Jam Session, in my opinion. Like, that's how the matchup goes. So when your Morgan's getting tossed and you can't block your incomings like on somewhat like over 50%, you know, you're gonna let the Zero player just run all through you. So as long as Flux came up clean, which he did, I think I was confident that he was gonna beat him. So shout out to Flux for, you know, playing really well and making it to the Curleh finale. It'll be hype.
Yeah, I mean, definitely, you know, kind of saved the pockets, but it still would have been hype either way, you know, having RF there because Flux was already qualified on points, but you know, that's how it rolls. That's why it's hype to have last chance qualifier. It's like who shows up in this last chance, and this time was Flux, which was awesome. And Flux also mentioned in the chat earlier that all the Japanese players really lost to, you know, Zero pretty much, which is true. Like No Life beat Nemo, and then obviously Flux being RF. Right outside of top 8, we had Viros, who was another Japanese player. We had K-Brad, Idom. You know, Idom's pretty consistent. I don't know. Idom gets me hype. I really like watching Idom play.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy, but it's awesome. And like, I wish we got to see him, more of him earlier, you know? But what else? Let's look at this bracket again. Let's turn bracket back on. Who else had a surprising match? There was somebody, and I was like, what?
Oh, actually, yeah, I kind of want to piggyback too. I just want to say, obviously, I'm biased, but check out Nemo too against No Life because he almost had a really sick comeback with Spencer that last game that he had the game-winning combo, but he scaled it too much in the beginning with the throw. So when he went for the Bionic maneuvers, the character flipped out, and that would have tied up the set.
Right, you're right. That was like, oh man,
super close. That was a really good comeback, and it kind of sucked, but that it ended that way. But it was super hype and a good match to watch.
Was that the run back where like two characters, and then what would have been the maneuvers to end the match ended up him just getting held over?
Yeah. It was
shout out. For anyone that just like seeing cool high fights on Twitter, like his clip game is so on point. Shout out to you, dude. Like if I don't have time to watch stuff, like it's always nice to be able to see at least the cool bits because they show up there.
Yeah, for sure. I started following immediately. I was like, this is amazing. I cannot play it. So, ECT in general for me was just really, really fun. I did get to play against Japanese players. They're all amazing, of course. Wouldn't expect anything less. And yeah, any final words on ECT, you guys, before we move on and cover some upcoming events and then getting down to business with these Curleh qualifiers? Any final words? Going once. Going twice.
Let's get into it.
Let's do it. All right. I mean, the next segment's going to be pretty short. Just upcoming events, which between now and the next show really is only the Curleh finale, but I do want to at least talk about some of the ones that'll be happening shortly after that, which is like the following week. That's going to have Marvel Infinite. In case anyone wants to prepare, there's going to be... let me think. Is there anything this upcoming weekend?
Not that I know of, no.
Mid-South Championships?
Mid-South Championship.
Okay. Yeah. I think that's this weekend.
KIT boys, let's go.
Yeah, so Mid-South Championships coming up. And then obviously the Curleh finale shortly after that is going to be like CEO Taku and SCR both in the same weekend, and they're both going to have MVCI, so definitely check those out. And it's on both sides of the U.S., right? So it's like you're on the East Coast, you have an opportunity. On the West Coast, you have something nearby also. So yeah, check it out. I mean, aside from that, I don't really know what other upcoming tournaments to really highlight at this time. I'm sure next episode we're going to go into more detail about CEO Taku and SCR and anything else that might become... Oh! We totally forgot to talk about the most recent MVCI tournament.
No, we didn't. You did.
I did. Yeah, excuse me.
I was gonna let you. I was gonna let you go,
remembered
and then we were gonna get
eventually.
back to it.
Oops. Well, we're gonna start with Kyle because I know he got a chance to check it out. He left us some awesome notes too. So let's talk about this recent MVCI and the first MVCI tournament. It was at what was it called? Celtic, something.
Oh no, I don't remember what the
Celtic tournament.
Yeah, I don't remember what the actual tournament name was. You can. So I'm trying to think of who actually streamed it now because I lost the link.
It was Lythero. Lythero streamed it, competed in it, and also commentated it all at the same time.
That dude's cool as hell. Shouts
He's
to
the
him,
best. Yes, for sure.
Well, okay, so when we say competed with it, funny story. He got wiped pretty quick, but he did actually commentate his own match. So that was Celtic Throwdown, which is going to be the first and only official, very first ever Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite tournament. If you go and I know Jackoman threw the link up on his chat, so if you or his YouTube, so if you check there. But I think you can also catch it on twitch.tv/Lythero because I assume that it's still archived there. That said, it was pretty much what you'd expect from a day -14, or I guess at that point -17 tournament. I guess the high points in the build they were playing, there are no rounds, so I assume that's what we're going to see when the game comes out. They're running 2 out of 3 single elimination bracket until grand finals where they played 3 out of 5. And for the most part, it was pretty much what you'd expect. A lot of people that had only had maybe 20 minutes with the game, with the exception, of course, Tyrant, who's been posting a ton of videos. He's been playing a ton, so he was kind of trolling a little bit with his Zero Dante Soul team. But you do get a good idea of how fast and how brutal this game's going to be, because he was definitely ending up with some really one-sided situations and people just not knowing what the resets in that game look like. So if you want an easy primer on what to be doing day one with Zero Dante, definitely go and check out the tournament for his play. Other people that stood out, Faisal Dante was running Dante, Mega Man X, and Reality Stone, and he was doing pretty strong. I think he made it all the way to winners finals. I think he made it to maybe losers finals, but got beat out by a player from Ireland named Dansum that was running Chris Jetta Reality Stone, and ended up beating Faisal Dante 2-0. Did a really really solid job. If you go and check out like the last few matches, so he's playing Jetta Reality Stone, and eventually Chris dies, and he has him locked down in the corner, and it's just like a solid 20 seconds of blocking his stupid little size, and then calling little fire dragon for the Reality Storm, and it looks like that kind of stuff's going to be super obnoxious to deal with because it was just lockdown city. But he ends up taking the win, and so Dancing with Tyrant Grand Finals, and again it was better than the other matches, but Tyrant definitely still had the edge. I would say the first match was probably the strongest showing that Dancing had, but I don't know. It is very clear at that time in the game, and I honestly think if you play Zero Dante now, like you're going to be really strong going into day 0 for Infinite, because the pressure and the things that you're trying to do, they're like, it's pretty close. You'll have to learn where the buttons are now and where your specials have moved around to. But it's pretty much still just Zero Dante stuff. There was a cool part, I guess, I don't know if it's been clipped or anything, but during the match, you get to see the really ridiculous Zero Sogenmu spam that we've seen clips of, but he got like a 14-hit combo. It was only like 25% health during the whole thing, but it was still like the juggles in that game. If anyone figures out how to do the Morrigan style juggle stuff, I think that it's going to be pretty bad. And we're just going to have to hope that scaling saves us from being super ridiculous. But definitely check out the stream, or go check out Jocko Man's stream capture, because if anything else, it's still fun to watch. I guess I have random thoughts and tidbits, but more about just mechanic stuff and less about the tournament. So I don't know if anyone else has any questions or anything I can try and chime in with. But
what do we think about Zero winning the first official MVCI tournament?
It's looking rough.
Yeah, it's looking a little rough, right? That it's starting out already. Out the gate, like, there was no lag between. We have ECT and Celtic. There's UMBC 3-0, and then MVCI 0. We in there? Or is this just the fate we have to live?
I don't think so, because if anything, it's probably going to be one of the first matchups to probably get downloaded. Because it's already showing up to be like, oh, hey, this stuff's really good. Time to find all the counters and focus on that. At least that's like my thought process going into it. Like, first thing I'm going to be doing when I'm going to be in the lab, I'm going to be figuring out how to deal with Zero and how to deal with Vajra in the tag. Because I do not want all that nonsense to be happening to me nonstop without me having some sort of counter in neutral.
Right.
But well, I mean, looking at what Zero's like really strong at, in my opinion, it's like, multiple air actions, so he can really change where he puts himself in the air as he's approaching. Pizza Cutter's still really good. Buster seems to be like wall bouncing on the ground and everything. Like, he's got a lot of options, but he doesn't have jam session assist. He doesn't have crazy lightning mix-ups on incoming. Incoming in general is like significantly weakened. I feel like with Zero kind of being for now, yes, for now. God.
Well, just touching on that point real quick. If you do go and watch the match, Tyrant does multiple times. He'll end the super with $1 million, and then off the last hit, he'll do a jump light, and then he'll teleport, and so he'll do like incoming style mix-ups on combo reset. So you'll still have to know how to block, but it looks like it's definitely nowhere near as strong as it used to be.
Yeah, like Lightning's slower. Buster is slower. Like, all of these things, like, coming from my experience with Zero, where like I play the character, I've been dealing with getting my butt busted by him for God knows how long. Like, I look at this version of Zero and I'm like, okay, I think I'll be able to deal with this better. Much better. Give me some time. The only thing I might be like a little bit worried about is just like how much like proximity guard and everything might screw me up in the neutral while I'm trying to evade from this character like coming at me from the air in a billion different angles. So we'll see what happens.
I guess.
I mean, go ahead.
Just to chime in on the proximity guard, because that was another thing, a big thing that's come out recently. So if anyone that didn't see the clip, it does have the game does have full screen proximity guard. So if someone's full screen jabbing and you're just holding back, you will actually go into the block animation. But the fact that like that hasn't even been clipped, and I haven't heard anyone talk about it until, and people have been playing the demo now for 3-4 months. So I don't think it's going to be that big of a deal, but it is a weird choice, but that's how it was in Marvel 2 and in Marvel 1. So it is an homage to the previous engine. It'll take a little bit of getting used to for Marvel 3 players, I think.
Definitely.
All right. Any final words about Celtic Throwdown 2017?
The in between playing, Tyrant did get on the mic and just talk about his thoughts on the game and his thoughts on Zero. So if you are thinking about picking up Zero Dante, like you can probably go and watch that and then get a few good tips starting out.
That's definitely what I'm doing after the show.
100%. Yeah, I mean, Tyrant has definitely been posting up so many videos. He's had a lot of time with the game, and winning the first tournament, I guess it reflects, like, we really should be checking out what he's, has to say about the game because he's had a lot of time with it so far. So, really good stuff, Tyrant, by the way. I mean, I think it's pretty cool that you can officially say, hey, I won the first MVCI tournament. No one can take that away from him now. He's in there.
Yeah, and it was with Zero.
And it was with Zero. I'm just looking at the chat. I see Reedman in the chat, Flux in the chat, Sacktap in the chat, Dio6 in the chat, Damon in the chat. What is up, everyone? Thank you so much for tuning in. I also saw Reedman ask us, what's our day one team gonna be, guys? Day one. Who's already feeling like they know what their day one team is gonna be?
Gamora, Jeddah, and then I'll either be playing Mind or Soul. It is definitely my day one free. And then if Jeddah doesn't work out, I'll be playing Gamora Dante. But I'm on the fence. I like what I've seen early of Jeddah, but I think the just full screen tool options and kind of weird zoning coverage that Gamora Dante is going to offer looks like it's going to be really strong. So I think that's what I'm looking at first.
Yeah, I love Gamora so far. Like, I want to use her and whoever is just going to make her the most broken character in the game. Same with the gems. That's how I feel. I really, really like her. But I'm going to stick to what I said. If she turns out to be Buns, well, bye, girl.
I can't imagine she's Buns.
I can't either.
Her tool set is so fun.
Yeah, she looks
looking,
ridiculous. That's why I'm so hyped to try her out, and I just cannot wait. I just want her to be, like, the main squeeze. I don't know. I'm hyped for Gamora. I'm Team Gamora all the way.
Yeah, I think it's really hard to say how the synergy game for Infinite is going to play out. Like, whether you're going to need like a lockdown and then a mix-up character, or if it's like having 2 mix-up characters so that you can just make someone block and then go, or like, I don't know. I think there's so many options that the meta can go that it's pretty hard to say 100% this is going to be good and this is what I'm going to play in day 0. But
right.
I don't know. I at least know those characters are interesting enough for me.
Man, that reality zone is so hype. Just have all these orbs on the screen.
once people get used to reflecting, I think Reality Surge is not going to be as strong. I think Reality Storm is still going to be a pretty good comeback mechanic.
Yeah.
Because I mean, you're essentially giving people Jam Session and Plasma Beam, and I don't know whatever you want to call those little wind shot things. So it's a lot of assist to have on a run back. Yeah. So I
mean,
I haven't heard nothing from you over there.
I mean, honestly, I'm kind of waiting to see what Black Panther is like. But in the meantime, I'll be playing like Spencer and somebody else. Maybe Spencer Chris or Spencer Raccoon, or Jeddah looks really cool too. It's kind of like, I don't know, the more I've seen of this game, I haven't seen that much Spencer, and what I've played of him versus what I've seen this game and the potential, he just kind of seems a little underwhelming, which is kind of making me a little sad. But like, I really want to make him work if I can. But I'm also under the same kind of like you, where it's like I need to not tie myself down to a character because I like him, and I should just play what's good. So we'll see. But I definitely think I need to pair him up with a character to help lock down. So I think we'll see what character I feel best shows off what's good about Spencer. So we'll see.
Yeah, it's definitely a waiting game at this point. Just waiting for the game to come out and actually sit down with it. Because, as awesome as it was, getting to all these events that did have MVCI, early builds and stuff like that, and being able to try it, that was awesome. But for me personally, I'm just not the type of person that can pick up a game and immediately, intuitively just be amazing, I was playing against people in line at E3 and you wouldn't even know that was the first public build aside from that story mode one. I was like, well, where did you guys figure this stuff out? It's they figured this so quickly. They figured it out. But I'm just waiting to actually sit down with it, get in training mode, and actually play. That's what I'm waiting for. It's going to be soon, you guys. Very, very soon. 2 weeks away. And yeah, it's going to be pretty interesting. Any final words from the cast about Celtic Throwdown? Nope. All right, we're moving on, you guys. And we did touch on the upcoming events already, which there aren't really too many going on, just a handful. So we're just gonna get to the Curleh finale stuff now. Are you guys ready for this? Are you ready for this? Okay, you guys, I got you. Curleh finale qualifiers. The points ended on the 3rd, which was Sunday night. So First Attack and ECT were the last 2 official stops on the Curleh, and the last day for people to submit their local brackets and stuff like that. So now we have our top 24 point qualifiers. So if you don't remember what the breakdown was before, it was 6 previous Curleh champions. We've had 8, but 6 out of the 8 have been able to attend, which is awesome. Those 6 people are going to be Cosmos, Deus Ex, New York Chris G, showing up. That guy's super consistent with the attendance. Ryan LV, of course. Oh, wait. I'm talking about champs first. Ryan LV won last chance qualifier. So it's Chris G, Joey D winning the Midwest Curleh, Cosmos, Marlon Pie, Flocker, and Deus Ex. All right. Let's just talk about these 6 people right now. When was the last time you guys have watched Deus Ex compete? It's been a hot minute since I've seen Deus Ex compete, and he's definitely confirmed he's going to be there. And I think that's really hype that we're going to be able to reflect almost on a whole era of the game in one bracket. That's my favorite thing about the Curleh finale right now. So I think that's super hype. Obviously, Marlon Pie, he still is playing, so hopefully he'll bust out. At ECT, he was there, and it's just so hilarious to see him watch people play. He'll watch pool play or something, and he'll see someone using Doom, and he'll see them do a TAC combo. He's like, oh, well, if he knew my combos, then he definitely would have killed that guy. But he doesn't know my combos. He will definitely sit there and feel himself over the fact that he innovated Doom. Flocker, I think, is also really going to be really interesting to see him play. Especially with the current generation of Marvel that we have going on. So, our 2 last chance qualifiers were Flux from ECT and Ryan LV from Pasadena Regionals. And now, the moment you've been waiting for. Let's check out our Curleh circuit point qualifiers. Now, one thing to keep in mind is that not everyone was able to make it to the event or attend or get off of work, so on and so forth. So, this is based off everyone who has confirmed to attend. Boom. Top 24 Curleh circuit point qualifiers. This list does exclude our auto qualifiers and the people who couldn't attend the event. So, our top 8 point qualifiers we have Mischief, Not Enough Damage from Atlanta, Georgia. Whoop whoop.
Woo!
He had a lot of points. I definitely don't think he was worried about those points whatsoever. Second place, Super Noon from Cali, putting in that work with those Wednesday night fights locals. So, Super Noon's a good example of those locals at work because, he's second place now with those points.
He showed up really well at CEO2, getting 3rd.
Yep, that's true. And the next three from Mexico, we have Jonah, Wolf, and Yahel. These guys never stop playing Marvel or supporting Marvel, especially over in Mexico. I think that's awesome. They had 2 really, really big tournaments with, I think, like 60 plus entrants in both tournaments. And they threw a tournament, like a goodbye tournament for Takumi, because he was, staying with them for a long time. So they had a big going away tournament for him too. And all 3 of these guys on the board, they're super excited. And I'm excited too. I like seeing, the international love for Marvel and seeing them here at the Curleh circuit and being in our top 8 on points is amazing. 6th place, Terry Bogart. 7th place, Asian Demon. And 8th place, Profits. Or is it Prophet? Does he just pronounce it the same way?
You call him Prophet.
Profit.
So yeah, the Curleh finale is going to be at the Downtown Grand Hotel and Casino. And they're our official hotel and venue, but they're also helping us get our players out to the event, and guaranteed flight is the top 8. If we are able to cover more, we will. But for the ones that we can't cover, through our current budget, we have launched the Curleh Artists Alley. So basically, it's our shop on Smash GG, and all of the funds, and proceeds that we make off of the products in that Artist Alley goes directly to our player flights. And now that we've announced all of our point qualifiers, except for number 24, which I will get to shortly, they will be set up as unlockable goals in the shop. So, yeah. You're going to want to check out this shop. It has a lot of products from artists and stuff that have supported us and supported the Curleh for a long time. I mean, not Curleh, supported Marvel for a long time. Marvel 3, artists like Shunao and Creative Flame, Irene Lee. She draws all of the cat versions of the Marvel characters and stuff like that. Let me see here. Oh, yeah. So, and then obviously we have a lot of amazing competitors in the top 24 in general. Dual Kevin, Priest, Mini Boss, Takumi from Japan, Angelic, Ronan Healy, Jabril, I Match Buttons, I Heart Justice, Seif, Apology Man, No Life, Unknown, Reed Man, Sacktab, and then the 24th spot. Okay. I have some explaining to do about this spot right here. And maybe even our viewers can help us out. But check this out. Of all the people, who qualified on points, who couldn't make it, so on and so forth, we ended up to the 24th spot on the point rankings, which is a tie. A tie
Oh, shit.
at 120 points between PC Marvel God and RF.
Oh, wow.
So the next task at hand is figuring out how to decide this tiebreaker. We've discovered this as of literally maybe an hour or 2 before the show, so that's why we have these magical question marks. How do we decide who gets this last spot? So we're going to be figuring this out very, very soon, probably within the next day or so. We got the team putting together that brain power, but to be honest, I want you guys to tweet to us and maybe give us, what would you want? What do you think? How should we settle this score? I don't know. As of right now, as far as I know, we're still trying to get in contact with RF to see if he's even available that weekend to attend. If not, then obviously it will go to PC Marvel God because he has confirmed that he can attend. So yeah, man, it's going to be interesting. We're going to have that 24th spot figured out for you guys very, very soon. But yeah, I want to give a personal round of applause to our top 23, I guess, official people for just showing up and playing Marvel and doing their thing. Like, I think it's awesome. Everyone's been super, excited about the finale, which has gotten me really excited about it being less than 2 weeks away. And just seeing these people want these points. Like, that's awesome to me. People at, almost every event that I went to that was a part of the circuit talking about how they wanted to get these points, so on and so forth. So thank you all, the whole community, for supporting. We had over 2,000 entrants in the circuit overall this year, over 100 events a part of the circuit, including local tournaments. So I think that just proves that our goal with the circuit and with the finale, we did it. We achieved the goal of helping local scenes and people play and, get their scenes stronger, get ready for Infinite. And I think that's awesome. I don't know. I'm really excited. And I'm just like, I don't know. I'm proud of us. And so please, please, please help us support, help by supporting the Curleh shop. And, try to cover the remaining flights that we aren't able to cover. You'll see all of those unlockable goals on the shop at smash.gg/Curleh finale. And yeah, I don't know, that's about it for now. About, Curleh related things. We made a ton of announcements. Now we have our point qualifiers officially. And we're almost there. Less than 2 weeks away from the finale and 2 weeks away from Marvel Infinite. Wowzers. Hey. Any comments on this top 24 from our amazing Marvel Live cast? Yes?
I'm just going to go on the record and say I'm 4 points better than the other brown kid.
Hey.
And those 4 points really mean something because you were adamant, making sure that bracket got added and updated, and we did it for you, man.
I definitely hustled in the last week and a half, trying to get everything there, and I'm glad it all worked out. I'm super excited to just go over there, play Marvel with all these people these. And you mentioned this before, saying that it's kind of an entire kind of legacy of Marvel being encapsulated in this bracket, and it's kind of crazy, kind of starting from the beginning as a scrub and then just doing the entire thing all the way through, and then seeing all these people kind of coming through. I'm going to be excited to just play Marvel one last time with a bunch of people and play with people that I've never played before. I know some of the other people, the 2 other people from Mexico, I haven't played them at all. Haven't played iMesh Buttons, and it's a 24-hour venue if I recall correctly, which sounds ridiculous. So I'm just really hyped to just hang out with everybody. It's kind of I'm glad to be a part of this as a player. I've been playing this game for a really, really long time, so I'm glad there is something to show for it. So yeah, cool.
For sure. I mean, I'm definitely super excited, and I mean, it's been a really interesting road organizing all of this, but it's going to be worth it. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and say we're going to have the world's largest venue and, all this other stuff, but we're going to have an awesome time, and we're going to play a lot of Marvel, and I can't wait. I'm happy to hear you're hyped to go, Steve, and I hope everybody else feels the same way. I mean, so far, from what I've heard from a lot of people who are going, everyone's really excited, and, that keeps me motivated to make sure, we're getting everything on track. And as of right now, everything is on track, so I'm feeling pretty good about it. So yeah, September 16th and 17th at the Downtown Grand Hotel and Casino, Curleh Finale 2017. And it's going to be streamed right here on Team Spooky, of course. Every single Curleh. Fun fact for anyone who didn't know, every single Curleh in all of existence has been streamed on Team Spooky, and that's not going to stop. And I'm pretty sure that's not going to stop in Infinite. Yes, in Infinite, you guys. We're definitely going to be having some Curleh related happenings in Infinite. So I'm looking forward to it, and just looking forward to, I don't know, experiencing kind of the whole same thing I experienced with Marvel 3 over again, but with what you know now. You always have those moments, if I knew now what I knew then, and now we have that opportunity. So I think that's going to be pretty dope. I don't know about you guys, but that's it for me on this episode today. Any final words, you guys? Steve, Kyle, Marcus?
Man, I don't know why everyone's so quiet. There's so much hype stuff going on.
I know. I feel like I've been talking so much.
And for Raid, who couldn't make it, I am going to shout out the GB boys holding down Summit first attack one more time, because I know that's what he would do if he was here. So definitely shout out to all you guys for cranking it up and trying to hold down the fort. And even if you couldn't stop him this time, don't worry. keep grinding into Infinite, and Neil Karsh won't know what hit him when y'all come back next time. But I don't know. I want to give huge shout outs to you, Persia, and KP, and Angelic, and like everyone on the Curleh squad holding it down, because I think that you are absolutely right. That has been an absolute 100% bona fide success. And I know it doesn't, for anyone that doesn't know, like they have poured so much work into this. So if you're salty you didn't make it, you like, come on, you had your chance, but root for your favorite guy or girl. I guess just guys this time. Maybe Infinite. We'll get there. But wait, oh man, Olympic said shout outs to my cat, and I was like, where's my cat? And yeah, I'll give everyone in the chat real quick. Ram Bam, shout outs, good crap at Shine, even though you weren't playing X23. Olympic, shout outs to my cat. Yeah, I don't know. I'm super hyped. Next episode, I don't know about everyone else, but I know that I'm going to be super excited and 100% ready to go absolute ham on some Infinite. And definitely, if you're not following me on Twitter, Merkel999X, or eventually I'll be on Twitch also. I am going to be absolutely stream monstering, Twitter monster, lab monster. I'm going to try and get as many people in Huntsville just going as strong as possible out the gate. And I know there's a ton of people hungry here. So, I don't know. Atlanta, you're on notice. Huntsville's coming for you.
Ooh.
You're on notice. Birmingham, you're on notice. Nashville, Memphis, come at me. We're gonna be blazing out the gate. So yeah, that's me. Shout outs.
All right. Yeah. What about you, Marcus? Shout outs. And guys, this is the last Marvel 3 Marvel Live. So, you could throw all kinds of shout outs into this episode.
Well, yeah, I also want to echo shout outs to the GB guys. Shout outs to Jonas for almost being a trooper and trying to be on the show during a hurricane.
Seriously.
Or, a huge storm. So I hopefully he's safe, and anybody else dealing with this crazy weather is also stay safe, please.
Yes, Florida, Puerto Rico, please.
Yeah, yes, be safe, guys. And just shout outs to everybody that's supported any Marvel event in the past, specifically especially in the past year with the Curleh Circuit stuff going on. I'm super excited to see how this event turns out, and hopefully we're going to see a bunch of upsets and people putting that exclamation point on this game. And I'm just super looking forward to this upcoming game. We've been talking about hey, we've been I think since we started doing this show, it was with hopes of eventually we're gonna go on to a new game, hopefully, fingers crossed.
Yeah.
And I'm super looking forward to I'm probably gonna be sick the next episode, so you guys hold it down without me,
Yeah, quote unquote. Yeah.
But yeah, I'm just super looking forward to all the new blood too. It's I've had a time the past couple of years trying to get Marvel in with the various communities that I've lived in, so I'm looking forward to all the new people coming into this awesome game and trying to turn them into fighting game players and Marvel players. So this is going to be really fun, and I'm just looking forward to the early beginnings of a new game. All that stuff that we reminisced about for the past 2-3 years about the early days of Ultimate Marvel and even Marvel 3. I'm looking forward to all that stuff again.
Man, I wasn't even thinking about waxing poetic about Marvel 3, but man, because I've been so ready for Infinite. I've been so ready for Infinite, but man, yeah, I mean, the last 6 years of my life has been hanging out with half you people in the chat, working on X23 tech with 3 of you in the chat, 3 of you in the entire game. So I don't know. And then everyone on the Marvel Live podcast, y'all are family, and this is fantastic. And anyone that doesn't know, I think we are coming up on our 2-year anniversary for the show next episode. So it's
what?
Wow.
Yeah, I think it's about that. We'll have to check the numbers, but yeah. So I don't know. I'm looking forward. Shout out to anyone that I've ever played or met at a tournament. Slept in a crappy hotel room with. Slept under the table in a crappy hotel room with.
Rode in
Help
someone's
me,
trunk.
right?
Definitely.
Help me to be a better player. Learn something from me. Taught me something. Everything. So I don't know. I'm excited. Sorry.
Yeah.
That's it for my shout outs. I promise.
What about you, Steve? Time to get sentimental.
God. God. Like, how do you begin? Oh, okay, I'll start off by saying Jan is the best.
Hell yeah!
Hyper
Look at
force,
that.
like
Hell
all of the key Marvel Live like mottos. Jan
The
is the
memes.
best. Hyper
The
Signal
memes.
Force.
Yeah. But yeah, like I just got to give a really big shout out to all you guys who are watching in the chat right now, to people who aren't watching maybe now but have watched us in the past, have given us any modicum of support whatsoever. It kind of like, it's awesome that, you know, we've been doing this. You know, this started off with just us in the Facebook chat just being like, hey, we want to get back to the community. We don't know how this is going to work, but we want to just keep the conversation going, keep the Marvel spirit, flowing. And man, it totally feels like 2 years of us doing this, like us meeting up in like whatever room and just getting on our computers, just talking about this game that we love so much, and now it's coming to an end. And like
For Marvel 3.
For Marvel 3,
Yeah.
yeah.
You
Like-
ain't going nowhere, Steve, all right?
Right,
And
no,
don't try to cop out now.
No, definitely. It's just weird because, like, I can't. I'll speak for myself. I don't know about all y'all's, situations, but this is, by and large, the first game I ever took seriously. I had no idea it was gonna lead me on such a ridiculous journey, make me go to places I've never been to, meet people that I never thought I'd ever meet, be a part of a community that like I can't live without or think about living without, because I have a bunch of the Atlanta homies and like Not Enough Damage stopped by like right before the show, and they're out there playing Marvel right now. Like I've been hosting
We
for
could have
well
had
over
special guest Eddie Moo, and
could've.
he's not here.
Yeah, I mean he had to leave early, but like like I've been doing this for a while, and I know all y'all have too, that have been here in the chat talking, and I want to give a huge shout out to anybody who's competed, anybody who's put their pride on the line, anybody who's like had a set that like mattered to them in Marvel in like a hotel room or even in their house. Just like bring that fire into Infinite. You've come across, you've gone so far already. Even if it may not feel like it's far, trust me, it's a lot better than a lot of other people are doing. You found something that you like to do. Keep doing it. And yeah, dang, that's hard. This is hard. I don't know, for real, this is hard.
Who's chopping onions in here? Damn it!
I'm sorry.
Right?
I'm sorry.
God.
But like, yeah, no, I love y'all for real. Like everybody, like you, and shouts to Raid. Please survive. I can't.
Oh yes,
like,
please.
my fellow Tatsu brethren, Clegg out there, Justin Wong, my sensei. Thank you. Shouts to Ram Bam for listening to me rambling on about theory and everything, and just like this is stop. Okay. Yeah. Okay. But yeah, I'll see y'all in Infinite, y'all. It's gonna be popping,
Hey.
and
It
I'm
is.
definitely gonna be trying my best. But yeah, let's do it. I'll
One
see y'all at the
more
finale, if
thing.
anything. One more thing?
Can we all like just say our favorite all-time Marvel 3 match?
Sure.
Can we just do that right quick?
Okay, go for it.
Starting with you, Marcus.
All right, mine was at my house. Me and Davit played a 1st to 10 on stream, and I think Darius won the first 4 games. Then I won like the next 8, and then I ended up beating him like 10-5, and I stole his soul. Like that weekend was super dope. I think Tasif was playing against, in my room, he was playing against our friend George, and he got hit with super jump height with plasma beam. Like,
I remember that.
I remember that.
that
Yup.
was a great weekend. I think that was like the first time I had a session at my house, and it was like the Georgia guys and Remy and Zebu came down from Tennessee, and like that was like the first big Southeast session that I ever had, and it was like probably like my most memorable Marvel, like that like cemented my love for this game, was having all those people in that house.
I think that session is where Tassif taught me how to deal with push block. because I definitely didn't know how to starting out. So
Oh.
shout outs.
Blessing. Blessing.
What about your favorite match, Kyle? Or
In
moment, or
the in the spirit of KP, who can't be with us, is definitely with us in spirit. The best match is a match where you always beat someone, and you get to hold it over their head forever. So final round was it last year?
He took his soul too.
Yeah, took his soul. I took him off the show for months. That's how bad that match was. But
and we had a video for him.
The video. Oh
right,
my god.
The Sarah McLachlan, Arms of the Angel.
I'm glad people thought like he actually died or something. We're like, no, he didn't. He didn't. He just just his career.
So yeah, that's I don't know. Like that was probably one of my recent chances to like show my team and the tech and the stuff and getting a chance to let people see like what I've been working in, because I don't get a chance to travel as much as I used to. So that's one of my favorite matches, and will continue to be so.
Right. What about you, Seif? Hot seat question.
Wait, what was that?
What's your favorite match or moment?
I can't. I refuse to give a straight answer. Just 'cause I have too many. Like I've been fortunate enough, blessed even, to like go from one side of the country to another entire different part of the country and play a whole slew of people. You know what I mean? Like, and I've gotten to like meet so many people through just like playing them. You get to learn so much about people by like just hanging out, playing Marvel, talking about the game, and then everything else that comes with it. I guess like some of my favorite sets that I've had with people. Shout outs to Pensacola Marvel for like my 5-hour drives down over there in the congregation of like South Florida, North Florida, Atlanta, just like breaking bread. Right. I liked we held like a crazy session right before Evo, and that was the Evo that Flocker won, and he came to that session and trained with us hella. I'd like to think we were a part of him winning Evo. So big shouts to Flocker. I'm super happy that he's coming to the finale. I can't wait to hang out with him. Huge shout outs to Vineet. Apology, man. Y'all were hating on him in the chat. Y'all hate his unblockables and everything. But beneath all that and the weird habits that he has, like microwaving milk, there is a crazy strong player, a crazy smart player. And I'm very honored that I was able to like go back and forth on some crazy meta stuff throughout all the sets. We played in tournament 4 times. All of them went on down to the last round and everything. And I have mad love for that dude. Huge shout outs to Vineet. Shout outs to F Champ also for having some of my favorite losses of all of Marvel. I'd like to think that like, you know, there were a lot of money matches back then when I was super try hard and trying to prove myself and all this other stuff. But as far as like my favorite match that I probably haven't been a part of, I'd probably say it'd have to be that set at KIT between Justin Wong and Jan. That to me was a completely different set than most other Marvel sets I've ever seen, and it showed to me just how like awesome fighting games could be. It was kind of funny that I had to play after that against Cloud, which was a super cool set too. But man, we were playing a much, you know, crazier, cheaper game than what, you know, Justin Wong and Jan were putting on. That was a set. Go back and watch that. I might do that as well. But yeah. Sorry, this is hard.
All right. Well, I don't know. For me, I know the best one for me. Okay. My favorite match that I played in is against our #1 point qualifier. Opportunity for me to pull up the picture again. This was at CEO this year, and Mr. Not Enough Damage decided to call me out, tell me he could beat me in a mirror match. He got bodied. It was so free. And the best part about it is that he is not going to see me again in that game, period, for the rest of his life. So he's going to have to hold that all forever. All right. Yeah, that's our #1 point qualifier, ladies and gentlemen.
And Persia bodied him, popped off, tell me sucked, and then just walked off. I didn't see her for like another 2 hours. I was dead.
Sick.
It was over with, and he has to hold that forever. All right. Yeah, so that was my favorite moment. And yeah, Kyle, you're right. It's always better when you know that they're not going to run it back.
Right?
He's never going to run it back on me. He can just hold that forever. So shout outs to Eddie and my farewell shout outs. Man, this community is just awesome. Like the Marvel community and all the people I've met and the people that I've run sets with, people I've hung out with outside of, even tournament related things. It's insane that I've managed to like find so many people that I consider true friends, like to me, through this game, and it's awesome, and it gets me excited to stay involved and, to help our scene grow, because it's like, if I can feel that way, then I feel like there are other people out there who will feel the same way. They just need to get here first. So if we can help in any way in getting these people here first, then that's awesome to me, which is another reason why I'm like super happy about the circuit and the finale, and, also just to touch on the shop, please again make sure like you're supporting the shop, purchasing from the shop. All the funds go directly to the flights and everything like that. Right now we have $712 contributed, which are all going directly to flights. We're gonna have an extremely good chance to fly everyone out, so please just keep supporting. You can also now purchase spectator passes for $20 on our shop. The final day to purchase on the Smash GG shop will be the day before, on the 15th, but you can still buy your spectator pass at the door. Same price, $20, not hiking that price up on you. And yeah, we also have our hoodies. You can get your gamer tag on them, and then obviously the contributions from people in the Marvel community who have done amazing work. Air Dash Club, Art of Arcane, who made our awesome Curleh circuit poster. Love that thing. Broken Tier, of course, got some retro designs coming back. Creative Flame is on here as well. Shunao and Irene, and soon might have some more vendors on here soon. But yeah, please check out the shop and consider purchasing or making a direct donation to help our, the remaining flights get covered. Aside from that, and just keeping an eye out for the Curleh finale, that pretty much wraps it up for my shout outs. Just shout outs to everyone. Shout outs to the community. Shout outs, obviously, to the crew here, Marvel Live. Like, I can't believe this is the last Marvel 3 episode. I can't believe this is almost 2 years of us doing this. And I can't believe our very next episode, like the day our next episode comes out, is the day Marvel Infinite comes out. Rough.
That's gonna be like I don't, anyone watching, like, things are gonna change. Like right now we've been doing the ESPN tournament recap because like that's what we have. Like there hasn't been fresh tech every week. There hasn't been some insane, there's been some insane stuff happening, but I mean, like, I don't know. I'm excited. There's going to be lots of cool content. There's going to be more people making videos. There's going to be tons of streamers. Everyone's going to be going nuts. Twitter's going to be blowing up.
Yep. It's going to be insane. So please make sure that you buy Infinite, that you put our stream on while you're labbing it out, and we all have a great time. That's it for me, you guys. I'm ready to close the show. Everybody good? Everybody good?
Yup.
All right.
Before we go.
Oh.
Sorry.
Hey, it's not me.
Steve.
Sorry.
What the heck, Steve? Just let her close the show.
I miss Hayden. I just want to give him a shout out.
That's true.
I don't.
Collective shout out to KP. We miss you.
And Raid.
And Raid, we miss you too.
Raid.
Much love to you guys.
Every guest spot we've had and partial 1 week host. Shout out to Ray for getting lost on the train and never making it to another episode.
Oh no!
But everyone, definitely go give some love to KP and his missus, and go give nothing but good feels to everyone down in PR and in Florida.
Indeed. All right, you guys, thanks so much for tuning in. Next episode, September 19th, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on Team Spooky. And yeah, good night. Peace out.
High percent, no force.
High percent, no force.